I built this house for $101 per square foot, and in this video, we're breaking down all the numbers. All right, so if you're new here to my channel, this is my second home build, and it's actually my second rental property. And actually, this is a home that I built in 60 days. If you have not seen the total cost breakdown video, then I highly recommend you go watch that before you watch this. I went into high detail on every single penny that went into the build, everything from the permitting to the dirt work to the foundation to the framing to the actual finished house. You should go check out that video. Here are the numbers for how much it cost me to build this house. So the total cost for this project was $264,000, and that includes the construction cost and the land costs. So if we subtract the land costs of $27,000, that gives us $237,000 strictly pertaining to the construction costs. Everything to do with the actual construction, $237,000. Now we need to find the total square feet of the house. The house living square footage is 1,888 square feet. And if we add in the garage square footage of 448 square feet, we get 2,336 square feet. So since the total construction cost was $237,000 and we divide the total square feet of 2,336 square feet, that gives us a total price per square foot of $101.45. All right, so as you can see right here, I have a 2-car garage, 17 foot wide, I think like 7 foot tall. And as you probably just noticed in my calculations, I included the garage square footage in my calculations, whereas I believe most people, whenever they calculate the cost per square foot, they don't include it. And basically what that tells me is those people are saying you don't include the square footage of the garage because it doesn't have any effect on the cost of the build. Now, does that make any sense to you? If I were to build a 2-car garage here or a 10-car garage that extended 100 feet that way, would it cost the same to build the house? Would the cost per square foot be the same? No, it wouldn't. So since the size of the garage directly affects the cost of the build, I include it in the cost per square foot to build calculation. So here I have a 2-car garage, and let's talk about this garage. Pretty special garage. So first, you can see this garage has a garage door. Secondly, you can see has a garage door opener. Next, you can see it has an epoxy floor, which is on top of a concrete foundation. Also, we have drywall. We have lights, we have electrical outlets, we have paint, we have some trim, we have some other trim that goes around the garage door. So with that said, this garage square footage wasn't free to me. Most people say, oh, you don't include it because it's not finished. It's not living square footage. It doesn't have air condition to it. The air condition on this $260,000 project was $8,000, but it has all this other material. It has lumber, it has concrete, it has drywall, paint, electrical, lights, garage door opener. So I'm including it in the cost to build per square foot because now on future projects, I know whenever I go to build a similar size rental property, 1,500 square foot house with a 2-car garage, this $101 per square foot cost is something I can use to calculate costs on my next project if it's something similar. And that's why I include the garage square footage in my cost to build per square foot. Okay, now we're gonna talk about exactly what items affect the cost to build per square foot. So let's go take a look. First, let me say this was a rental property that I built, and I did decide to do some upgrades. So given that my cost per square foot was $101 per square foot, it is a great price, especially considering all the upgrades I did to the house. But the main items that affect the total cost to build per square foot are the level of finishes and like the overall customness that you do to the house. So for instance, this right here is about a $3,000 front door. And I know that I easily could have installed about a $1,000 front door right here. So given that I installed a front door that is 3 times the cost of what I could have installed, that means my cost per square foot could have been a third of what it is pertaining to this specific item. So let's go check out some more. So here on the flooring, I decided to do tile flooring. Well, I most definitely could have found an item that would have been maybe something like a luxury vinyl plank or a lot more cost-effective flooring option. And with that said, it could have divided my cost per square foot on the tile specifically in half. Or if you're building some big custom home, maybe you're gonna do some imported Italian tile, and I got this tile for like $3 a square foot. You can get tile for $15 a square foot. So just imagine if you do all these custom finishes, how high your cost per square foot could get. Here's a regular, pretty basic quartz countertops option. I paid like $6,000 for all the quartz countertops in this house. And I guarantee you that if I were to really try, I could have spent probably, who knows, maybe $25,000 or $30,000 on countertops for this house, because sometimes these quartz, you can get different levels of countertops, and the next one, I think one of the most expensive countertops you could get is something called like quartzite, and it's a lot more rare material and a lot more expensive. And therefore, if instead of doing $6,000 worth of countertops, I would have did $25,000, that would increase my cost per square foot pertaining to this specific item by 5. So if you do high level finishes, here's another item. I did all recessed can lights in this house. And there are several places that I could have installed actual, maybe right here, some hanging pendant lights. And then this is the dining room area where I did a recessed can light. I could have did some kind of chandelier little deal here. So with that said, it all depends on the level of your finishes. If you want to get really high-end, expensive material, and also how custom you want your house to be. Do you just want a walk-in shower, or do you want a walk-in shower with 2 shower heads and a standing tub and 3 sinks instead of 2 sinks in your master bathroom? That's all your decision, but that is exactly what is going to affect your cost to build per square foot. If you want a really cheap cost to build per square foot, do lower level finishes with less customness. And if you want a super nice house, you're gonna do high level finishes. And a really custom house, you're gonna have a lot higher cost per square foot. So if you're building your own house, I just want you to understand that cost to build, or construction prices in general, all vary from place to place. I know I get a lot of comments in my comment section from sometimes even builders who say, oh, I've been building for 15, 20, 30 years. These prices are unreal. They're not fake. They're fake. They're from 100 years ago. Well, the thing is, prices vary place to place. You know, people commenting that are probably building in New York City or Los Angeles. And the thing is, those subcontractors are all required to carry specific insurances, and everybody has to pay even higher taxes than what they pay here in Texas. And all those things affect the construction costs. Also, more specifically to where I'm building in Houston, Texas. We have a very close proximity to the southern border of Texas, and we have a higher rate of immigrants, and we have a labor surplus. People come here and are willing to work for a very low rate, and that just is what determines the market prices for the labor and also the material, to be honest. So I just want you to understand that all construction costs vary from location to location, but nevertheless, I built this house for $101 per square foot, and I believe that to be a great value, because I know some other local builders who are building houses very similar to this, and their prices are more around $125 to $150 and some even $175 per square foot. But I know that I'm getting the best rates I can because I know how to negotiate with suppliers, and secondly, I know how to find the best priced labor to be able to complete this job. If you're interested in building your own house, whether that is a single family rental property like this right here, or a big custom dream home to move into and live in, then you should click the link down below to check out my course, where I have a course that teaches you everything you need to know on how to build your own house step by step. Anyways, that wraps up today's video. We'll catch you on the next one.